Hello and welcome back, everyone. It's just another day in the life as a military wife, and we're kind of piggybacking on last week. We're going to go over some resources for everyone. I know you might be thinking it's strange that we're going to talk about Christmas and it's not even October yet, but there is a reason for it. There are a lot of organizations that will assist military families, but if you want to get that assistance or be a part of helping military families, you got to get ahead of the game and you got to get involved in October and November, because a lot of these projects and organizations close out their application process well before December. So I'm dropping the information now so that you guys can find the resources you need. As always, I'm your host, Sam Wolf, and you're listening to Life of a Military Wife. So let's jump right into this. I did an episode on Christmas organizations and how to get assistance as a military family around Christmas time, but it was about 2 years ago. So it was a while ago, and I figured it would be worthwhile to hit this again because I've run into some organizations I didn't previously know about, as well as I just, hopefully I can point you in directions of things that you may not have known about. First things first, I want to just point out that there are local organizations that will not be listed. I'm trying to cover more nationally recognized organizations. And also, some of these organizations may not be available to families overseas. So that's something you're going to have to look into yourself. I will do my best to cover that for you in what I have. But again, do your own research. I'm going to point you in the right direction. And the links for all of the organizations that I'm talking about that are new will be in the description below. The ones I'm going to be hitting first, generally right now, will just be ones you can look up. So the USO has local chapters all over, and different USOs have different programs and things that they do. So wherever you're stationed, or wherever you live, if you want to help out military families, reach out to your local USO, see what they're doing for the military community at Christmas time, and see how you can contribute. The other thing you can do is, if you are a service member's family, just find out, look up the website, call them, check out their Facebook. Most of the local chapters have a Facebook page that you can go and see what they're doing, and get a point of contact, maybe call and ask questions. So USO is the one. The next is the Red Cross. Again, different local organizations of the Red Cross will do different things. Another is YMCA. There are armed force branches of the YMCA that will have different things as well. And then just in general, I would look up your local organizations, because there will be nonprofits that are regional or city area specific. And sometimes if you get a hold of the resources for your unit, so for example, if you are in the Army, you would go to ACS, Army Community Services. But if you are in the Marines, you would go to, the Marine Corps Community Services. Air Force, it would be the Force Support Squadron. And for Navy, it'd be Naval Community Service Programs. There's also the Fleet for the Navy, Fleet and Family Support Center. So those are different ones you can check out. But yeah, so I'll go over it again. Army Community Services, Marine Corps Relief Society, Fleet and Family Support Center, Naval Community Service Program, and the Force Support Squadron. Depending on what branch of the service you're in, you can go to those and find out what a lot of the local organizations are that help military families as well. And this is two-sided. If you feel like you're in the position to give, let's give. And if you feel like you're in the position where you need help, that's okay. Go get the help you need. It is understandable. Military, we just don't have a very high income. We've got a very fixed income. And with a fixed income and inflation and things like that, it can get crazy. So sometimes you need help and sometimes you're going to be fine and it's going to fluctuate and that's fine. It's completely understandable. Going into one of the actual organizations I want to talk to you about. This is one I actually have experience with, and it is Full Circle Home. Full Circle Home will send gifts to family members around the holidays. So, for example, my husband, when he got deployed last, his leadership made sure that they had all of the service members, like as they were waiting to board the planes for the deployment, fill out the information so that gifts would be sent to their families at Christmas time. And so in our case, I received a box and in it, it had 12 little gifts and each was for one, each was one for each day for the 12 days of Christmas. And they were really cute little things, lip gloss, different types of makeup, a little coin purse, wallet thing, just beauty products, jewelry, things like that. It was really sweet, very high quality items, and I really genuinely enjoyed it. Now they limit one per service member. So sometimes if you send one for a spouse program, then you can't do it for, they have other programs. So it is one per service member and it's when they're deployed. I will have the link to the website in the description below and determine what works best for your loved ones. But this is something that you can sign up for if you know you're going to be away at Christmas time and maybe you don't know if you'll be able to ship out a present because life and everything. Okay, so the next organization that I want to tell you guys about is Operation Help a Hero. And Operation Help a Hero has been going on now for a while, and their Operation Christmas Spirit, which is their Christmas program about for adopting military families, has been going on for 20 years as of this year. And their main thing is doing the adopting a family or single service member gifts, as well as unit Christmas support. So, like for the unit Christmas parties, they will help out with that. They additionally have volunteer opportunities and toy collection for children of service members. But basically, their biggest focus is the family adoption program. And the families are vetted through the unit nominations and an application process. And once the family is selected for the through the either of those processes, then they are given a thing to fill out, which will give them a wish list, and they're to include sizes and all sorts of stuff. But basically, it's 3 gifts for each child, and then 1 gift for each adult. And their hubs of location where they're focused is Southern California, Colorado, Florida, North Carolina, Texas, and Virginia. However, on top of that, they do mail out gifts. And so you don't have to be in one of those areas, as far as I can tell, to be able to be involved with this organization. This is one I hadn't really known much about. I had not heard about it previously, and I ran into it recently and thought that I would share it with you guys. Their application process for this year opens on October 15th. I will have the website in the description for this episode. But if you are willing to donate, if you want to volunteer or help, they have lots of information on their website. I've spent quite a bit of time looking through things. And honestly, they've done a lot, especially last year. I was looking at it. Evidently, they were able to meet nearly all of their goals last year and help out more people than they thought. They had more donations brought in than they originally expected. But yeah, you can donate e-gift cards, you can donate all sorts of different things. And so if you're looking for a donation opportunity, this is a great one. If you're looking for help, this is an option as well. If you are a, group leader, family group leader for a unit, if you're in charge of that sort of thing, or your spouse is in a leadership position and you have military families in your unit that are in need, this is an organization that you can reach out to get assistance for those families in your unit that you're aware of that are needing that type of assistance. So I really have been impressed with what I've seen. Again, they've got a 20-year track record, so they know what they're doing. They've got their processes figured out. There shouldn't be a lot of surprises. You should be able to know what you're getting in with them. The next one that I wanted to share, and it's not one I've covered previously. Like I said, I've covered a lot of these things previously. I had another episode a couple years ago, and I will link that episode in the description so you can go and listen to those things. These are ones that I don't remember running into previously or I thought would be good to highlight again. This one I'm not sure I'd ever heard of before either. This organization that I'm covering next is the Presence for Patriots, and it's part of the Freedom Alliance. Basically, their whole goal is to provide gifts to combat injured active duty service members and veterans who have been wounded in Afghanistan and Iraq or in the support of the global war on terror and are experiencing financial hardships. To be eligible, the requirements are the applicant must have one or more combat deployments in support of the global war on terror, in other words, post 9/11. Applicants are either still serving on active duty or have separated after 2019. Only first-time applicants with financial hardship or those affected by a recent natural disaster are going to be considered. Other applicants may be considered based upon availability. The application period for this organization is Friday, October 6th through Friday, November 10th. Again, this is another organization that if you would like to support these families, again, wounded warriors, it's always great to support our injured and wounded veterans and their families. This is an opportunity to do that. They actually have information on here about families that they've helped in the past, so you can kind of get an idea of what type of an organization you would be supporting. In addition, if you are combat injured, active duty, or a veteran, this might be an organization to help you out. Again, this is a one-time thing. This is not people that'll take a recurring, year upon year. Keep that in mind. But there's just so many of these organizations out there. And I talk about being the good in the world, but there really just are so many organizations. We've been stationed in multiple different places. We've been blessed for help in lots of different locations where we've been at. But here's the other thing that got me thinking about all of this. I've been in charge of putting together Christmas activities in the past for my congregation as well as units. And I'm currently in charge of helping out with the Christmas celebrations and stuff for my congregation. Well, not everyone in my congregation is military. These might be really great opportunities to reach out to some of these organizations and see if your congregation can help. And maybe you can't, but maybe there's an organization you're involved with. Maybe it's your work, maybe it's your congregation, maybe scouts, if you've got kids in scouting or another type of leadership. I know that when I was in National Honor Society in high school, we had to do a service project. So, if there is some sort of service project that your kids are needing to do for a school thing, or if you're part of an organization, whether your job or your community or neighborhood, These are organizations you might want to just check out and see if you guys can help them help the military families in need. And again, if you are a military family in need, please reach out to these organizations. They really are fabulous and they do care. And the holidays can be hard. And it's hard sometimes to explain to children why things are tight, why you just don't have as much come the holidays as you wish you did. And it means so much that these wonderful people are stepping outside of themselves and helping out. The economy is a little crazy right now, and it is not as easy to do some of the things that you might have been able to do in the past, especially if you're a service member family that is dealing with medical issues due to a combat injury. So I really wanted to take this opportunity to share these things and just as the holiday craziness starts. I know it's Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and things can get really busy really fast. So I wanted to bring this onto your radar now. So you had the opportunity before life gets insane to start looking into these different organizations and seeing maybe how you could be a help and a force of good for your community and set an example of service for your family, for your kids. Or if also you are struggling, maybe this is a way that you can get the things you need. I know that there's been times where we've struggled as a military family and needed a little bit of help. And so we have received help, but at the same time, I've been really grateful for those times where maybe I wasn't able to help others, but I could help organize service projects to help others. So even if you're not in the financial position to donate, maybe you can bring these organizations to the attention of your community so that pulled together, a group can help out with this. And as a community, you can be involved in these organizations and what they do. The last one I want to hit on is one that I've hit on before, and it'll be mentioned in that episode. It's Trees for Troops. It's done by FedEx. I've loved Trees for Troops. We've used this as our way of getting a Christmas tree almost nearly every year we've been in the military. We've been lucky enough to be stationed in locations where FedEx does this and drops off Christmas trees. But what Trees for Troops is they have locations where people can go and buy a Christmas tree and then they can donate a Christmas tree to a military family. And then those donated Christmas trees are dropped off at the military installations. And each military installation has a different distribution process for the Christmas trees. So I would make sure you're checking with your installation and finding out what the point of contact is and what the distribution process is, if that's something you're interested in. The reason why I'm covering this last in the episode is because it is one of the later things. There's not as much information or much to do with Trees for Troops until we get closer to the holidays because, a chopped down Christmas tree doesn't last very long. So, that is what I wanted to share with you guys this week are these opportunities to be the good that we want to see in the world and help those around us. I want to put another plug out there. I am still locking down interviews for the Profiles on a Veteran series that I'm planning on doing in November. If you know a veteran who is interested in participating and would like to talk about their military experience as well as their post-military experience in order to provide inspiration and just ideas for other individuals who are transitioning out of the military, that would be greatly appreciated. Reach out to me in the description below. There is contact information for the podcast, Facebook, X, email. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me. And also, I have put out several different questions and projects I'm working on. I'm trying to get feedback from the community for episodes that I will be doing later on. So check out Facebook and X. That's where I've got those things posted. As always, let's be the good we want to see in the world. And I'm your host, Sam Wolf, and you've been listening to Life of a Military Wife.